Well, thank you, Brooks Andrews, for welcoming our members and award recipients. Regretfully, I'm not able to be with you in person tonight, out of an abundance of caution, but it doesn't diminish the enthusiasm and excitement I have for sharing what's next at RAP. Riverside Avondale Preservation is at an incredible place in our 48-year history. After reflecting on the success over the last year that Brooks has shared, I want to look forward over the next year and share some of the things that we can anticipate. Right now, we are full steam ahead in executing the 46th annual home tour. Now, the home tour isn't just our signature event. It isn't just our largest fundraiser, which it is. The home tour is the event that tells our story. It speaks to our work. It showcases to residents in the neighborhood doing restoration, here is what your neighbor did. It's the event where you can find out, here's the guy who restored my 100-year-old hardwood floors, this is who designed my garage addition, or look at the brickwork that tells the story of my home. I'll be honest and tell you that we need your support in this year's home tour because it is hard to come back after a 2-year break. We've lost our momentum, not only in the audience of ticket purchasers, but we're also seeing hesitancy from homeowners about agreeing to open their doors to the public, not knowing what the health forecast may be on April 9th and 10th, which is absolutely to be expected. But we need you because we cannot allow this event to lose its cultural significance to RAP and to our neighborhood. The home tour must remain an open door to showcase our history and what our neighborhood is all about. This year, we are also excited to welcome back the garden tour, which goes beyond the interior of our homes, and it provides a window into the living part of our community, our trees, and our yards. It'll be on May 7th, Mother's Day weekend. During this year's garden tour, we are very happy to announce our support for a fantastic initiative that will bring new life into the history and intent behind Peace Memorial Rose Garden. This park, facing Willow Branch Library, will feature a professionally crafted stone labyrinth along with art installations. The design will incorporate engraved brick pathways and commemorative benches. Now, labyrinths are used as meditative, therapeutic walking paths, and they bring calm and peace to those that use them. At a time when so many of us need a special place to relax, to honor someone you may have lost, or to remember or pay tribute, the labyrinth can be that space for you. This project is being shepherded by the Friends of the Labyrinth at Peace Park, and it will be under the fiscal sponsorship of Riverside Avondale Preservation because we believe in the mission and the purpose of this project, and we want to help see it forward. Now further, I know that this neighborhood is committed to community cleanups, landscaping, maintenance days, and RAP is working with our parks leaders and merchants to host community cleanup days, enhance our parks, and improve our merchant areas. Outside of our events, our Transportation and Infrastructure Committee has created a task force to focus attention towards our flooding, drainage, and resiliency needs in the neighborhood. Our Zoning and Preservation Committee is growing and now includes experts in real estate, historic preservation, urban planning, zoning, architecture, and development. And we are analyzing the impacts and trends of work being done in the neighborhood so that we can determine how RAP can best lend support or recommend improvements. And our Creative Placemaking Committee is working to combine storytelling, history, public art, and tourism into a transformational project that they are calling Cultural Trail, which will move from Riverside Arts Market into 5 Points just to begin. Last, before we move into the awards portion of tonight's event, I want to single out the most award-winning aspect of what our organization and our team at RAP is doing for this community, the Riverside Arts Market. It is the most vibrant and thriving part of our neighborhood, and it's become that way because of the fantastic leadership of John Silvera and those that came before him. This year, we anticipate the completion of the shared use path over the Fuller Warren Bridge that will connect San Marco to Riverside for runners and cyclists, and we're preparing for RAM to be even more visited and visible to these patrons. Through our community-minded approach to running the market, this space is welcoming, inclusive, and it has the demographics and socioeconomic profile that mirrors that of Jacksonville as a whole. RAM is now a model of what our neighborhood and our organization strives to emulate throughout all of our programming. I encourage everyone here, if you haven't been to the Riverside Arts Market in a while, please treat yourself. I look forward to a very busy, productive, and lively 2022 at Riverside Avondale Preservation. Thank you to all of our members, business members, sponsors for your support of this neighborhood. And with that, I want to turn it over to our founder, Wayne Wood, who will speak to our history and Jacksonville's bicentennial. Thank you.
(1085) Cherry Street. The rehabilitation at 1085 Cherry Street is a wonderful project where the construction team used a light touch and made all the right choices. The structure was in a neglected state when builder Alex Rose acquired the property in 2020. But fortunately, all the exterior details, including the siding and craftsman timbers, were still in place. The siding had been scraped down to the raw wood, and there was minimal wood rot to repair. Removal of the old awning, careful painting of the exterior, and restoration of the windows and doors returned this bungalow to its 1920s charm. After careful removal of a beehive adjacent to the chimney, rehabilitation went smoothly, and an updated interior complements this lovely exterior renovation. Congratulations to Alex Rose of Rose Properties, LLC. 1422 Rensselaer Avenue. This bungalow restoration is truly a labor of love for owners Sarah and Mario Maliano. When they purchased the bungalow in 2013, the bones were intact, but the home was covered in vinyl siding and some of the original craftsman details had been lost. Over the years, the Malianos painstakingly restored all the windows and were finally ready to tackle removal of the vinyl in 2021. They uncovered the original siding, gable vents, exposed rafter tails, and evidence of the original craftsman outriggers. To restore the porch, the Malianos sourced historic cypress beams and milled them to replace the lost outriggers. They were careful in all their work, including repair of the porch trim and beams and thorough prepping and painting of the original siding. This is a fantastic example of a homeowner following the guidance of the staff at the Historic Preservation Office, in this case Lisa Shepard, and taking their time to truly restore the exterior. Congratulations to Sarah and Mario Maliano. 3691 Herschel Street. Glenn Chandler and his team at Bold City Properties took a hard look at a much altered and dilapidated accessory structure on Herschel Street, and he recognized its potential immediately. Living nearby, the long-term eyesore was always an irritation, so when Glenn acquired the property, he was eager to begin. He removed all the inappropriate additions, including jalousie windows, mismatched brick, and the lean-to roof over the deck. His team restored the balance of the structure, including all the windows and the original pine flooring. A local craftsman built the beautiful carriage-style garage doors to fill the original masonry openings. The result is a gem with a very elegant interior living space and a now historically corrected exterior. This rehab highlights the value of our accessory structures and their potential to add to the character of the district. This project is also complemented by very nice new construction on the vacant portion of the lot fronting Herschel Street. The final result is an eyesore no more, but a model of what can be accomplished with a skilled and knowledgeable team. Congratulations to Glenn Chandler and Bold City Properties. 2165 Oak Street. This renovation started in 2016 with homeowners Clay Ziegler and Christina Di Loretto committed to following their own golden rule, Do not change anything in this house without a compelling reason. This rule led them to engaging in extensive research on how the home would have originally been finished and laid out. The home had been converted into apartments at some point in its history, yielding 3 separate front entries and the loss of the original entry details. Clay and Christina used information from a very similar Riverside home to restore the front entry sequence, including the stair and bench arrangement. They used the Sears Roebuck Builders Catalog from 1910 for guidance on hardware and finishes, and paint colors were taken from actual historic paint samples uncovered during the renovation. For this renovation, they assembled a team including South Quarter Build and Lovejoy Construction. They restored the wood details, windows, existing siding, and constructed a new garage sensitive to the original home. Clay and Christina love to share tales of the home's restoration and help others see what is possible with our beautiful historic homes. Congratulations to Clay Ziegler and Christina DiLoretto. The restoration of Trinity Lutheran Church. Trinity Lutheran was facing the challenges many institutions with complex and aging historic facilities are confronting. According to their pastor, Robert Kinley, every time it rained, they needed to break out the buckets. The church had been repairing individual roof leaks for 10 years and had concerns about water intrusion throughout the facility, especially in the sanctuary and education building. They knew that keeping the facility in good condition was a vital part of their ongoing ministry. Working with consultants, the church learned that there was much more involved than simple re-roofing. Truly protecting this historic structure meant a complete re-roof of the entire facility, including repairs of rotten roof decking, a new waterproofing and guttering system, and restoration of the stone copings. Repointing all of the stonework on the structure was also recommended, including the stone tracery at the stained glass windows. Restoration of the interior plaster was required in some areas, but fortunately, most of the interiors were undamaged. Repairs and re-roofing were also made to the pantry house, an adjacent historic structure that is part of their community outreach. Trinity also undertook upgrades to the electrical and sound systems throughout the facility. To accomplish a project of this scope, Trinity launched a 3-year capital campaign led by their committee called From This Foundation Ministry Grows. They also reached out to the Mustard Seed Investment Fund for financing. The result of this multi-year effort by Trinity Lutheran Church ensures that this very important structure in our historic district will be protected for years to come, and we are very grateful for their hard work. Congratulations to Trinity Lutheran Church and their team, including parishioners Ruth and Jerry Johnson, Rusty White, Judy Hassler, Sarah Knight, Pam Pearsall, and sadly now deceased Jenny Strasser, all of whom were led by the Reverend Robert Kinley. The Gardens at the Cummer Museum. The Cummer Museum is home to one of the most significant gardens in the Southeast. In fact, these gardens were added to the National Register of Historic Places in 2010. They are a local treasure not only to our historic neighborhood, but to the region as a whole. When Hurricane Irma swept through Jacksonville in 2017, the storm flooded the lower tier of all 3 formal garden spaces. The flooding uprooted plants, detached the railing along the river, contaminated the soil, and damaged the physical infrastructure of the gardens. Reconstruction of the gardens started in December of 2018. In order to preserve the original intent and character of the riverfront gardens, historic records from the Cummer family archives, including plant logs, photographs, and invoices, served as the basis of the project plan. WLA Studio, a landscape architecture and planning firm based in Athens, Georgia, led the reconstruction. The firm's experience in both historic landscape preservation and environmental design was critical to the museum's goal of preserving the atmospheric intent of the original gardens while making necessary adjustments to reflect modern-day climate and soil conditions. Congratulations to the Cummer Museum of Art and Gardens. Native Park 2. This project is a true collaboration between the neighbors surrounding Native Park 2 and the Ixia chapter of the Florida Native Plant Society, who through an agreement with the City of Jacksonville is charged with maintenance and improvements at both native parks. In November of 2019, the neighbors surrounding native parks were notified by the Ixia chapter that they were planning a naturalization project for Native Park 2, similar to the style of Native Park 1. The neighbors felt the park should remain a more traditional pocket park, in line with the original plan of the neighborhood. They also believed that the existing plantings had some historic value in their own right, specifically the perimeter yew hedges. Ixia met with the neighbors and agreed. They created a plan to preserve the traditional plantings and add a new native bed along the north side of the park. The first step was an extensive joint cleanup effort with the neighbors. They removed unwanted vegetation and uncovered a beautiful native redbud that had been obscured by overgrowth. Walking past the native bed during the summer season is now a delightful experience, with the plants in full flower and the pollinators in abundance. According to Rick Periani, longtime residents say the park has never looked as good nor been in better shape. Congratulations to Nick Freeman and the Ixia chapter of the Florida Native Plant Society. Lomax Street Improvements. The Lomax Street Improvement Project is the result of a multi-year effort to enhance the walkability of the Five Points area. This was accomplished through slowing vehicular traffic, widening sidewalks, reducing crosswalk distances, and adding landscaping. The final result improves the pedestrian experience and creates more opportunities for sidewalk dining and merchandising. According to Councilwoman Randy DeFore, walkability is a key feature of Riverside, and this project will be transformative in helping Five Points to have outdoor dining and host outdoor events that bring people to Jacksonville. Congratulations to the extensive list of partners who designed, planned, funded, and supported this project. They include the Five Points Merchants Association, Tocknell Planning Services, Envision Design Plus Engineering, Flag Design Studio, Waits and Moy, Kirby Development Incorporated, Black Sheep Restaurant, and K. E. Haas. From the City of Jacksonville, we would like to thank the Office of the Mayor, the Planning Department, and the Public Works Department. From the state of Florida, we'd like to thank the FDOT Complete Streets team. Finally, we must thank former Councilman Jim Love for initiating this effort and Councilwoman Randy DeFore for pushing it through to completion.
Hi, my name is Chef Natasha Burton, and I am the owner and co-founder of Mixed Fillings Pie Shop. Mixed Fillings Pie Shop is a sweet and savory pie shop that is located in Riverside Avondale, and we are a speakeasy located at 2251 Oak Street in Jacksonville. So my favorite pie changes actually seasonally, but currently my favorite pie is our Window to the Walnut. It's a brownie walnut pie, and it was named after a Yin Yang Twins song. We were actually fortunate enough to find this spot in kind of a very unconventional way. We were searching for locations, and my aunt stumbled upon an article in the Jacksonville Business Insider magazine, and they were explaining how a local baker had just sold her business, and my aunt thought it was a really inspirational story. I looked at it from a different angle. I thought, wow, this could be a great opportunity to get into a space before anyone else does. And luckily, it happened to be one of the perfect spaces you could ever dream of. We happened to drive past this street when we were visiting in 2019, and we were lucky enough to find it. When we first started the business, it was very slow. In the beginning, we would do pop-ups out in the front, and we would have a little sign, people would drive by, and it was at the height of the Black Lives Matter protest. And our business was fortunate enough to be shared by another local baker named Callie Marie Bakes. And she thought that if you believe that Black Lives Matters, then you should support Black-owned businesses. So she took it upon herself to share our business on her page. Our page grew from 200 followers overnight to 500 followers, and it just, before we knew it, we had people lining up at the door. And so our business honestly grew because of the kindness of another person.
So we are Bridge. We're the Bridge Muralists. I'm Keith Doles. This is Ramsey Spider and Hannah Hosdick, and this is our mural called The Pond. We were commissioned by Richard Cirillo and the AIDS Memorial Project of Northeast Florida. He came to us almost a year ago when we had the Love Grove ceremony at the gazebo, and I was inspired by, this huge space, and it was raining that day. So we saw puddles of water on the court. So I looked at it and it's like, wow, this could be a giant koi pond. So we went with that concept, and we got together and we came up with some ideas, and in 41 days in the summer of 2021, we painted this mural, and Ramsey's painted this beautiful manatee. We all painted the koi. Our other partner, Adrian Rhodes, he painted the lily pads and the flowers, and so this was truly a collaborative project.
So I think this basketball court is just like any other piece of public art you'd come across in Jacksonville. I think that we should all just be respectful towards it and love it, and kind of keep this nice and healthy for the generations to come, who can make their own memories from it and have their own landmark.
I think this is one of those murals that are very unique, because not only does it beautify the community, it's also interactive, so the public is able to connect on a deeper level. Kids can hop on the koi fish and play a game of don't touch the water. Obviously this is a basketball court, so a lot of different communities come together to play games, and it's just, I feel like that interactive element really sets this mural apart from a lot of other beautiful murals around Jacksonville, and I think that's what makes it really special.
Ten months ago, at one of my first RAP board meetings, Brooks Andrews suggested that one of the things that RAP might benefit from was an arts task force. He called us together, this group and several others, and charged us with finding as big a palette as we could to celebrate our neighborhood and what we can do to celebrate Riverside and Avondale.
Well, as a task force, our vision was to reinvent and recreate public space in our neighborhood. We aspired to facilitate creative patterns of use with an emphasis on art, history, and cultural identities in the Riverside Avondale area as part of an ongoing evolution. As creative placemakers, we intend to highlight those physical and social characters that make Riverside Avondale so special through the creation and promotion of art, history, and cultural activities. Personally, I feel very privileged to work with such an amazing group of individuals and to have the privilege to be a part of the impact we hope to have on our community.
Completing this work has involved so many different people and entities, and of course we're very, very grateful for the opportunities to have worked, first of all, with Wayne Wood, who inspires us all and makes wonderful things happen in our neighborhood and our community. Also with Councilman Randy DeFore, whose energetic support of our work has also been a point of inspiration for us. And also a quick word to Chris Ledoux with the City of Jacksonville, who has helped sort of shape the way we think. I think we also need to say a heartfelt word of thanks to the Board of Directors of RAP, who moved us forward from a task force to a full-fledged committee of the board now. That's very exciting. And of course, having only been together for 10 months, to have received this honor and recognition means an awful lot and helps inspire us all for the work that we have to do together going forward. So thank you very much.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Riverside Arts Market. My name's John Silvera and I am just so happy to be here every Saturday underneath the canopy of the Fuller Warren Bridge from 10 to 3. I get here a little earlier than 10, but we do open at 10. So come on out and see us. It's absolutely gorgeous today. It's February, the weather is incredible, and again we're underneath the canopy of the Fuller Warren Bridge, so there's no excuse for not coming out here, even in inclement weather. So put on those galoshes when it's raining a little bit and come on out. We are here to talk about an incredible award that we do at the Riverside Arts Market. It's called the Maker of the Year. This year we have selected an amazing lady that has done great work for this program of Riverside Avondale preservation. She started way back when, during the pandemic, helping staff out with creating an online marketplace for all the producers. It was actually a Facebook page, and we still kept that momentum even though we were closed for 13 days during 2020 during the onset of the pandemic. She has helped us ever since then. One of the incredible things about her is that she just challenges us to be better. Not every once in a while, but every week. So that's why I really, really enjoy working with her, because she helps us keep our feet on the gas pedal to make RAM the best that it can be. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you the RAM Maker of the Year for 2022, Crystal Israel with Little Black Box.
Thanks, John. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone at Riverside Arts Market for actually having me as a vendor, and this is so much about what makes RAM special and the community that's been built here. The pandemic, incredibly trying years for all of us as vendors, for all of us in general, and I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate everything, and I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that as we go into the next year, I can contribute as much as possible. Thanks again.
Hi, I'm Ron Rothberg with Art Bikes Jacks. We created Art Bikes Jacks because we wanted to create more community. So community impact is so important and gratifying for us. Art Bikes is this fleet of electric bikes that were customized by a diverse group of local artists. We get so much joy of taking people around these historic areas, these districts that we love and we call home and call community. And when we're able to share that with others, it makes us really happy. It all came about because we got more involved with our bar. We got more involved because we started seeing public art pop up everywhere. Our parks, our historic architecture. And I came to Holt one day with this crazy idea, and I said, "What do you think about art bikes?" And he said, "Yes." Let's do it. And the rest is history, and it's just like something that just evolved and became this beautiful thing that brought a lot of people together and brings people closer to all the beauty that we know is here in our community.
again, thank you for nominating us and for Art Bikes Jax, and I'm happy to be part of this whole entire group. Biggest thing is we're here for the community. We've been here for the community and always will be. We love each and every single person around here, and happy to be here to help and take care of everyone's bike needs.
Hi, my name is Kim Klontz. I am co-chair of the Riverside Avondale Preservation Parks Committee, which was started about 2 years ago. And I work with Alice Jones quite a bit because she is in charge of parks, or the conduit between RAP and the parks. So I was introduced to Alice early on as being on the Parks Committee as someone who could get things done. And that was no lie. She is just unbelievable in taking a project and making it her own. Hard to find a person who is passionate about their job and really takes ownership of everyone's problems. And that's probably hard on her personally, but she projects very positive behavior. And so how I interact with her is basically if something, let's say, a park has an overflowing trash can or somebody has run into the fence at the playground, I'll simply either fill out a form, which seems to be best because then we have record, or I call her and Alice immediately says, I will get this handled, and if you don't hear from me within 48 hours, call me back. I mean, that you just don't find that anywhere. In addition to her passion and taking projects on herself, she's great at communicating. She kind of has a silvery tongue and can say the right words to the right people and make them feel like they've hopped on her park passion train. And so that's fun to watch too. She really just takes a bull by the horns, and that's what I enjoy seeing happen around her. One day she called me, maybe I called her, and I said, where are you? And she says, I'm sitting on a bench in one of the parks, and I'm calming myself down. And I said, oh no, what happened? And she said, I'm about to cry, but all of the plants we planted in Memorial Park have just been cut down by a crew. And so somebody that takes on that kind of feeling over her projects is just a rare thing to find, and it's great to work with.